Thank you, Acting President. I just wanted to briefly sum up and touch on some of the points made within the debate today. First of all, I want to really thank the cooperation and the kindness from many within the chamber in acknowledging Elizabeth and Sean, the foster carers of Murphy, who came along to listen to the contributions today. Without Elizabeth and Sean's advocacy, we wouldn't be standing here and we wouldn't have seen such a huge outpouring of support and, more importantly, outrage towards the decisions of the Lost Dogs Home. Their story is actually not unique, but what is unique about it is the fact that they were willing to say that they won't accept it and that it's not good enough, because the Lost Dogs Home operates on a culture of silencing people and of secrecy and of making people fearful of the repercussions of saying something about their practices. And Elizabeth and Sean were not willing to take that. They have been so incredibly brave by standing up, and they have achieved something that we have been trying to achieve within the rescue and rehoming sector for decades now. I also want to acknowledge the work of organisations like Forever Friends Animal Rescue and Rescued with Love, who have been speaking about much of what's gone on within the Lost Dogs Home for many years now as well, who I know are also so incredibly grateful to Elizabeth and Sean for their bravery and for getting thrust into a situation that they didn't choose, but they couldn't be quiet about. And I just really want to acknowledge that they have achieved something really amazing in doing so. It's disappointing that the opposition is opposing this motion today, and I was quite surprised by those comments. Something that has been made really, really clear is that this is not about staff, as they claim. In fact, staff started the organisations like the Lost Dogs Home because they want to help animals, because they care about animals. I'm the first person to acknowledge that. But what happens is they are put within an organisation where they are not privy to decision-making a lot of the time as well. They are left helpless, they are left powerless, and they are unable to contest or speak out against these decisions too. And that has been evidenced by the amount of former staff that have come to me, the amount of current staff who have been outraged by this decision to kill Murphy. And it's really shone a light on something that has been going on for such a long time, that this is an organisation that is unwilling to change and must be forced into change. Like I said, this is a management problem that is decades old. It is not an attack on the rescue community. The Lost Dogs Home as an organisation is an outlier, and their practices are tarnishing the incredible work of other shelters and of other rescue groups who put so much into helping the lives of animals in this state every single day. And the broader rescue community has condemned this. The rescue community wants the...
in the chamber, and I'm having trouble hearing Ms Purcell, so I just ask perhaps conversations could be taken outside.
I uphold the point of order and I ask Ms Purcell to continue.
Thank you, Acting President. Like I said, this has been condemned by the rescue community. They are the experts who know these animals best, and we should be listening to them. Just finally, I also want to touch on a few other things. People have spoken about the code of practice today, and something that's important to know about the code of practice is, while that code of practice allows what happened to Murphy within it, it does not mandate it. And the Lost Dogs Home is exploiting people's lack of understanding of the legislation and the rules to get away with this behaviour. We're thankful that a number of councils are actually looking into this now. The Lost Dogs Home operates off lucrative council contracts that bring in a lot of money by servicing those LGAs. And during the time of this debate, we have been informed that the City of Melbourne is actually launching an investigation into the practices of the Lost Dogs Home and will be demanding answers given that their council contract lies within them. And finally, on the point of paperwork as raised by the opposition, I would just like to say that if a little bit more paperwork is a result of letting more dogs and cats live, then I think that's a pretty minimal trade-off and a pretty fair trade-off. And what this motion asks for today is the bare minimum of what we could do. We could be setting the standard of good sheltering practices in our state, because that's what these organisations should be doing. They're there for the purposes of sheltering and for caring for animals, and we need to get that purpose back on track within this state. So thank you to everyone for their contributions today and their support. We're now calling on the government to act within the ask of this motion, and I commend it to the House.